Tonight, the live stream comes to you live from Tulsa with the My Pillow Corona Bowl, featuring a very special halftime performance by Up with Creeple.
Let me hear you say, Trump 2020, Trump 2020.
Quick check of the out-of-town scoreboard. It's Ramps 1, Trump nothing. Let's dive in to the live stream. Welcome, everyone, to the live stream. That was your 30 seconds of silence just to sit and reminisce. What I have to do is I have to keep everything muted, and unfortunately hit my mic too because I can't play the song that they're playing because I will get tagged by YouTube for copyright strikes. Welcome to the My Pillow Corona Bowl. Almost over. We're going to get Trump going in just a second here. He's going to talk to his dozens of fans. That stadium is almost empty. Here he goes. I hope you guys enjoyed the intro. Welcome, everyone. I've been waiting for this day forever. So have 20 or 30 fans in Tulsa. They were going to do another address outside the arena to the overflow crowd. There's no crowd. They've taken the stage down.
We begin
Here we go.
Our campaign.
Welcome, everybody. Hi, Doctor. Hi, Ruth Ann. Hi, Fun Night. Hi, Bev. Hi, whoever said there you are with writing that I can't read, and I apologize for that.
We begin our campaign.
Tell me your name, and I'll try and remember it. Hey, Christine.
You are warriors.
Hey, Chabello.
I've been watching the fake news for weeks now, and everything is negative.
Is he loud enough? Can you guys hear him?
Don't do anything today. It was like, I've never seen anything like it. I've never seen anything like it. You are warriors. Thank you. We had some very bad people outside.
He's blaming the protesters for there being nobody there. They've been letting people in since 2 o'clock before the protesters even got there.
I appreciate it. We have just a tremendous group of people in Oklahoma, and I hear from your two great senators and your governor that we're doing very well in Oklahoma. That's the word.
Really, really well. Look at that ramping up in Oklahoma. So well.
I stand before you today to declare the silent majority is stronger than ever before.
And doesn't show up to arenas. They're not here in the Corona Bowl. They've got to show some shots of the crowd because it's probably 60% empty.
We're going to defeat
Hey, Stat.
Sleepy Joe Biden.
Hey, Stephanie.
Boy, does he get a pass from these people, huh?
I can't turn him up. We might have to go to another channel.
We're going to build a future of safety and opportunity for Americans of every race, color, religion, and creed. Republicans are the equality and justice for all. We are the party of Abraham Lincoln, and we are the party of law and order.
Gonna see if I can get us a louder feed, guys. Biden didn't have a rally. Biden had a press conference with invites.
We will have close to 300 federal judges appointed and approved by the end of my first time.
Gonna bring up the Fox feed, guys.
Record.
Hey, Steven.
That's an all-time
Hey, Christine.
record. I've always heard how important judges are. Now we know how important they are. Think of that, over 300.
There we go.
Around
hey,
300 by the end of the term. And when we have another 4 years,
are we good audio, guys? Are we good audio-wise?
Percentage of the total
we can hear Trump.
number. Very important. November 3rd.
Hey, Neil.
And 2 great Supreme Court judges. So we have 2 justices of the Supreme Court. Justice Gorsuch.
Justice Gorsuch.
Kavanaugh. They're great. They're great.
Kavanaugh.
They're great.
Hey, Miller.
We have 2. And we could get a few
Nobody's
more.
at this thing. And outside, they were going to have another rally. And as Kevin Lee Daughter told you the other day, if you watched the live stream, millions of people signed up for tickets and had no intention of showing up. So they spent the money setting up a stage outside. There's no one there.
And all of that incredible equipment,
hey, Fernanda.
whether it's submarines or missiles or rockets or jet fighters, bombers, it's all built in the USA.
Hey, Executive Producer Green Room. Good to see you. The Executive Producer Green Room is in Ireland right now watching, so we have international fans.
VA choice. Thank you very much, Jim. Where's my senator? Jim Inhofe. You better vote for him. He's running. He's great.
Jim Inhofe, who claims that only God can make climate change happen because he controls the weather.
But we'll get to him and James Langford in a second. 2 great
Is Jim Jordan
senators.
there? And where is his jacket?
Senators. So we passed VA choice.
Hey, Barb.
So if you're a veteran, for years and years, they've wanted to do it for almost 50 years. We got it done. We get a lot of things done. And so if you're a veteran and you have to wait in line for 1 week, 2 weeks, 3 weeks, 5 weeks, 7 weeks, 2 months, what happens is you go outside, you get a private doctor, you get fixed up, and they pay your bill. We take care of the bill. We take care of the bill, and you get immediate service. It's never happened before, and our approval
Obama
rating
passed it in
at the VA
2014.
is now 91%. That's how good it is. Never been anywhere near that number.
Slurring is right. Okay, there's a mask. I see one mask. See right here, there's a mask.
Never been near that number.
No,
And
2
VA
masks.
accountability. We had a lot of bad people in the VA. People
zooming
that
out,
didn't love our
C-SPAN.
vets, people that were sadistic, people that stole, a lot of bad people. You couldn't get rid of them because they were, let's say it could be unions, it could be civil
Obama
service,
passed
right?
that in
Let's say.
2014.
Let's
I
just
have the
say.
video.
And so you couldn't get it done. That was another one. For decades and decades, they wanted to get it changed.
VA choice,
and I
yeah.
got it done with those people and your congressman, too.
Hey, human.
Your congressman, who I'm going to interview.
Is the volume level okay? Should I turn myself down? Anybody out there want to report?
And now somebody treats our veterans badly. And we look at them, and what do we say? We say, you're fired.
Build the wall.
Get out, right?
Oh, sorry, you're
Get
fired.
out.
You're fired. You're fired. Get out.
They got rid of a lot of bad people that were there for a long time, sort of like me in Washington, draining the swamp. I never knew it was so deep.
Yeah, bad people in the
It's
VA.
happening.
Again, Obama passed
It's
this in
happening.
2014.
I never knew it was so deep. It's deep and thick and a lot of bad characters. Thank you.
You're
We're
welcome.
lowering the price of prescription drugs, making our allies pay their fair share. They get a big bargain on drug prices, and enacting fair trade deals that finally, after all these years, put
Thanks, Bev.
America first. I've been saying it for a long time.
Thanks, Marcy.
We passed the largest
You're very
tax
welcome, Susan.
cuts in the history of our country. The Democrats want to raise your taxes. Tell me about that.
Just in case you didn't
Tell
hear
me
6
about that.
of the setup team,
I guess I'm old-fashioned. You know, all my life, All my life.
You are
I
old-fashioned.
heard politicians want to lower taxes, not raise them. If you could lower them, you couldn't lose. The Democrats want to substantially raise your taxes. How do you figure that? How do you
there's a lot of
figure that?
one-percenters in that crowd.
And regulation cuts, we passed more regulation cuts than any administration in the history of our country.
They are no longer monitoring the chemicals in our water. So, Trump. Oh, there's some people with masks.
And with the help of our great energy workers,
Welcome back,
many
Pat.
of them come from the great state of Oklahoma. Do you ever notice that Biden? No, do you ever notice that Biden oftentimes gets the state wrong? He's in Iowa, and he says, it's good to be in Idaho. No, you're in Iowa.
You got the name of
He's
the
in
country
New
you bombed
Hampshire.
wrong.
And he says, it's great to be in Ohio. No, you're in New Hampshire. That happens to him all the time. Hasn't happened to me yet.
You
know,
wanted to build a wall around
When
Colorado.
that happens, there's nothing you can do to make up for it. You might as well just walk off the stage because the speech is a disaster. Okay. Right? But we just turned the United States into the dominant energy superpower of the world.
We became the leading oil exporter under Obama.
And because of the Chinese virus, what happened about 3 months ago, it looked like we were in big trouble, and we were, and I got it back together. I called Russia. I called Russia.
Liana.
I called Saudi Arabia.
Yeah.
And believe it or not, I called Mexico. Mexico was a little bit tough. That's called OPEC Plus. Did you ever hear of OPEC Plus?
It's
That's
OPEC Plus.
Plus.
Plus, yeah, right.
And we got them to do the right thing.
I was confused.
And we have our energy back to up almost $40 a barrel, meaning you have an energy business again.
It has to be $60 a barrel to be viable.
$40 a barrel.
Look at all these
A couple of
free
months ago
chairs.
it was zero, and we were going to lose 10 million energy jobs, 10 million jobs. So Texas and Oklahoma and North Dakota and many other states would have been hurt. Now, you think you're going to be hurt there. You try putting AOC in charge of your energy.
You try putting 6,000 people in an arena that holds 20,000. How about that? Try that, Trump.
That will make the pandemic look like child's play to the people in energy. She has one problem. It's called petroleum. No president or administration has done more in the first 3.5 years than the Trump administration. Not even.
Nobody has obstructed more justice, including. Did you guys hear this? He actually is sanctioning the International Criminal Court.
Rebuilding America stands in stark contrast to the extremism and destruction and violence of the radical left. We just saw it outside. You just saw it outside. You saw these thugs that came along.
These thugs
people
taking
call
down
them
the stage
protesters.
that I was
Isn't
going
it
to speak
beautiful?
at.
It's so beautiful. No, they're so wonderful. They call them the Boston Tea Party.
They're like dogs.
They're
They're just
so
listening for the
wonderful.
cadence.
Yeah, they call them. You ever watch fake news CNN? You ever watch? Where they go?
Wait, are there cameras? They're going to turn their cameras off, I bet. He's playing the hits. 3.5.
How about the CNN anchor?
Yeah.
How about the CNN anchor? You know,
Yeah.
did a little shave job in the head, which is fine. And he's standing in front of a building saying things are very peaceful here. And the building is, it looks like the biggest fire I've ever seen. The whole town is burning.
His
It's
impression of
like the
people is
biggest
better than
fire,
his
and he
voice.
said, things are very good here, Anderson. I
wish you would talk like this all the time.
I think it's, he's a wonderful people, Anderson. You ever see that?
No, no one's ever seen it. Verbal kitty litter. I like that, Stephanie.
Looked like the world was coming
Lay a
to an
turd,
end.
covered up with words.
And you know, we did something in Minneapolis. After watching for
Minneapolis.
3 or 4 days, I called. I said, you got to get out. You can't
It was the
protect
tiniest
yourselves."
of all the Apuluses.
I got them to take 8,000 National Guardsmen. And in 1 hour, it all ended. And they rode through the next 3 weeks with no problem.
He did not call in the National Guard. He cannot call in the National Guard. Governors call in the National Guard. He has
And we did
no
the same
power.
thing in other cities. But how about Seattle? Isn't that
How about it? Woo, Seattle!
So they take over a big chunk of a city called Seattle. I mean, we're not talking about some little place. We're talking about Seattle. Have you ever been to Seattle? They took over a big chunk.
A big chunk.
And the governor, who's radical left. All of these places I talk about are Democrat. You know that, every one of them.
Look at that big chunk.
Every one of them.
Right there, that's Chaz. That's the big
and
chunk.
I have an offer out. I said,
3
anytime
blocks.
you want, we'll come in, we'll straighten it out
Hey,
in
Joe.
1 hour or less.
Hey, Wakanda.
Now, I may be wrong,
Andy?
but it's probably better for us to just watch that disaster.
Yeah, because it's fine. Actually, there was a shooting there last night, but that's another story. There are shootings all across this country because Second Amendment.
I flew in with some of our great congressmen who
Thanks,
were
I'm
going
gonna
to
send you guys a link
introduce
to the
in a
shirt.
second, and I said to him, Congressman, what do you think? I can straighten it out fast. Should we just go in? No, sir. Let it simmer for a little while. Let people see what radical left Democrats will do to our country. Right? But Americans have watched left-wing radicals burn down buildings, loot businesses, destroy private property, injure hundreds of dedicated police officers. These police officers, they get injured. They don't complain. They're incredible. And injure thousands upon thousands of people only to hear the radical fake news
Oh, is
say
that what's going
what
on?
a
Hold
beautiful
on, guys.
rally it was.
Something's wrong with YouTube. If you're trying to get me on YouTube,
And they never talk about
I
COVID.
am...
They don't talk about when you see
Okay.
25,000 people walking
I was
down
being blocked
Fifth
because of ad
Avenue or
suitability
walking
because it's a
down
Trump
street
rally or whatever.
Of a Democrat
I've resolved
city.
it. So, if you want to watch on
never hear
YouTube,
them
head on
say
over to YouTube.
They're not wearing their mask. You don't hear them say, as they're breaking windows and running in, and then when I say the looters and running in, and
The
then when I say
anarchists,
the
the
looters
agitators,
and
they
running
say.
in. What a terrible thing for our president to say.
Okay, there we go.
What a
So, if you want to head to
terrible
YouTube, you can.
But you don't hear them
YouTube.com/HeavenlyFather.
talking
It's got the
about
fastest
COVID.
chat there. I was wondering what
COVID.
was going on because there's a
To
bunch
be
of you in here.
specific, COVID-19.
Stephen, good to see you. Flamummy? Flamummy?
That name
Flamummy.
gets further and further away
Welcome.
from China as opposed to calling it the Chinese virus.
Hey, Melissa. Yay, I don't even know what he's talking about now. I'm just more interested in you
And
guys.
despite
This
the
is
fact
just,
that we,
it's just reruns.
have done a phenomenal job with it. I shut down the United States to very heavily infected, but all people from China in late January, which is months earlier than other people would have done it if they would have done it at all. I saved hundreds of thousands of lives.
What about millions?
We don't ever get even a mention.
Well, you
Then I closed
killed
it down to
125,000
Europe
Americans because you didn't have
Closed
testing
it
the
down
first 6
because I
weeks.
saw what was happening. And by the way, most people said, don't do it. Don't do it. We saved hundreds of thousands of lives. And all we do is get hit on like we're terrible. And what we've done with the ventilators and with the medical equipment and with testing, you know, testing is a double-edged sword.
The more
We've
you
tested
test,
now 25 million people. It's probably 20 million people more than anybody else. Germany's
it's
done
not
a
25
lot.
million people. It's
South Korea's done a lot.
You have
They
to
called
test
me,
the
they
same
said,
people
job
multiple
you're doing-
times.
Here's the bad part. When you test, when you
Hey,
do
Danielle.
testing to that extent, you're going to find more people. You're going to find more cases. So I said to my people, slow the testing down, please. They test and they test. We got tests that people don't know what's going on. We got tests. We got another one over here. The young man's 10 years old. He's got the sniffles. He'll recover in about 15 minutes. That's a case. Add up to it. That's a case. That's a case.
and spreads it to grandma, and she dies. That's a case. Wow, what is that? 8 deep? Hold on. 1, 2, 3.
I was
4.
actually with a
Too
very
late.
nice
8
man, very
deep
good man.
on the
Even though
floor.
he's very
This
liberal,
is pathetic.
The governor of New Jersey. right? We know him? Now listen, he said to me something that's amazing. New Jersey was very heavily hit, very hard hit. Thousands of people. He said with thousands of people that died, thousands of people, there was only one person that died under the age of 18. Would you believe that? Which tells me one thing, that kids are much stronger than us.
No, it's...
When you see a little kid running around, say, boy, oh boy, do you have a great immune system.
Wow, I love C-SPAN.
How about a piece of your immune system? They don't even know about this. Let's open the schools, please. Open.
Kids have an underdeveloped immune system. You know, our immune system builds as we age. Oh, look at all those empty seats. Two black guys not cheering.
We got to get them open. In the fall, we got to get them open.
Is everyone wearing like a seat-covered mask? A giant? Is that what's going on?
Our history, desecrate our monuments, our beautiful monuments. Tear down our statues and punish, cancel, and persecute anyone who does not conform to their demands for absolute and total control. We're not conforming. That's why we're here, actually.
If you want a faster chat window, guys, go to youtube.com/KevinLeeFather, and you can subscribe there so that you get alerted every time we go live.
Censorship and exclusion violates everything we hold dear as Americans. They want to demolish our heritage so they can impose their new oppressive regime in its place. They want to defund and dissolve our police departments. Think of that. You know, I heard it for the first time 2 weeks ago. I said, well, that one, I mean, they're only kidding. I said, they're not. Minneapolis, you see what's going on? They're not kidding.
Oh, he said it right that time.
They got a lot of problems.
So he knows how to say Minneapolis.
Hey, it's 1 o'clock in the morning, and a very tough, you know, I've used the word on occasion, hombre. A very tough hombre is breaking into the window of a young woman whose husband is away as a traveling salesman or whatever he may do. And you call 911.
Yeah?
And they say, I'm sorry. This number is no longer working.
Why would they pick up?
By the way, you have many cases like that. Many, whether it's a young woman, an old woman, a young man, or an old man, and you're sleeping.
Oh.
So what are you going to do, right? So they wanted to fund. They really do. This is a serious movement. And in Minneapolis, the council's already passed it. In Seattle, you see what's going on there. It's even worse, okay?
Free soup.
These people are stone cold crazy.
Okay.
Crazy.
I'm enjoying myself, though.
So if you want to save your heritage, you want to save that beautiful heritage of ours. We have a great heritage. We're a great country.
Heritage.
You are so lucky I'm president. That's all I can tell you.
There we go. There's plenty of room for everybody. Look at all the upper deck. Completely empty. Nobody's in the suites. These people paid something. Look at behind here. Everybody gone. Wow. That's got to be 2 or 3 families there. All week long, they were bragging about 1 million people. And if you watch the live stream, Kevin Lee Daughter told you that was a prank on Trump, and they fell for it.
Do I have a choice? We deal with a lot of bad people, but we're winning.
We do deal with a lot of bad people.
And every once in a while, I'll have one of these days where I'm hit left and right, like even this great event. What if you could have seen outside, or if you could have heard the
where there was a
reports,
stage you were supposed to speak at, and there was nobody there?
COVID. It's this. I've got. It's, by the way, it's a disease, without question, has more names than any disease in history. I can name Kung Flu. I can name...
There it is.
19 different versions of names.
Can you?
Many
COVID
call
1,
it a virus,
COVID
which
2.
it is. Many call it a flu. What difference?
It's not a flu. There is a difference.
19 or 20 versions of the name.
No, we don't.
But
What-
they
and-
say to
I'm
me,
sorry.
where do you get the energy? I say, I don't have a choice. I don't
To
have a choice.
learn all the names?
You know,
The fuck
was
is he talking
interesting.
about?
to show you how fake they are. You might have seen it. So last week they called me
Yeah.
and they say, sir, West Point, we're ready. I said, oh, that's right. I have to make the commencement speech at West Point. You know, they delayed it for 6 weeks.
Do we have any footage
because
of West Point?
COVID.
Do we have that?
So they delayed it, and I went there. 1,106 cadets were graduating, and beautiful. Beautiful cadets. So, this is just to show you how bad the fake news is. So, they say to me, sir,
Probably not,
we're ready
Ruthann.
to go.
Oh, sir,
I
it's a
said,
lie.
let's go. This is after saying hello to a lot of cadets, inspecting little areas of a building that was very exciting. Actually, it's beautiful, very old. Studied a lot of our great generals, some of our presidents that went there. West Point is beautiful, right on the Hudson River. But after an hour, general that runs it is a fantastic guy. After an hour, we land. We do some more inspections, and they say, sir, are you ready? Yes, I am.
Yes, I am.
So we walked like the equivalent of about 3 blocks, which was fine. We go on stage, which is fine. They make speeches, then I make a speech. It lasted a long time.
Why was he
I don't know,
talking like
maybe
a pirate
45
at West
minutes,
Point?
Maybe longer. I don't know.
Does he
but
think
a
it's the
long time.
Navy?
The sun is pouring down on me.
Oh,
Okay?
oh.
But they
The
said
sun
to me
is pouring
before
down
the
on me
speech,
right now.
sir, would you like to salute
Girls' changing room.
each cadet, each single cadet, or maybe they'll be in groups of 2. Would you like to salute like this? Yes. Like this. Almost 600 times. You know what that is? 600 times!
Oh my. Is there some kind of GoFundMe? You know what? I'm going to set up KevinLeeFather.com, and you guys can become patrons for him.
Thank
Because he
God
had
they were in
600
twos.
times.
Because let me tell you, you do that 600 times, you go home and you say, it's like a workout without a weight, right?
You can barely walk
600
afterwards.
times. So I did that. Then the incredible helicopters, brand new, gorgeous helicopters, the Apaches and the other new ones that we just bought. So they fly over.
Uh-huh.
And the kids throw the hats in the air. It's beautiful, it really is. And it was a beautiful day. And we're all finished. I was on the stage for hours.
Yeah.
Hours.
Yeah.
Sun. I came
Sun.
home, I had a nice tan.
Oh. No.
Meaning I had a nice sunburn.
Makeup.
No, the sun's going right like that. But
Yeah.
I make this speech, right? I salute for probably an hour and a half, maybe more, but around that. Watch, if I'm off by 2 minutes, I'll say, he exaggerated. It was only an hour and 25
Not
minutes.
going to fact check that.
He exaggerated. He
Do not
lied.
care.
He lied. He's a liar. These people are sick, the fake news.
I'm waiting for your lie about the ramp here. Is this where we're going with this? Are you ramping up to it?
So then,
You're paying
I
for
finished
this.
saluting, my final salute. I said, thank goodness, thank you very much.
That's better.
But think of it, so essentially almost 600 times. Now,
This
the
speech
general
has been
says,
going on for
"Sir,
2 hours.
Are you ready?" I said, I'm ready, General. Where are we going now? You have to understand, I left early in the morning to get there. Now it's sort of late in the afternoon.
Yeah.
A lot of these fakers were with us.
Oh, yeah.
So they know.
Uh-huh.
He said, sir,
Sir.
we can now leave the stage. I say, great, General, let's go. I'll follow you. And he goes like this, right here, sir. I'll walk on.
You've walked away from the mic, sir. Okay, we can't hear what you're saying. You don't have a mic on. Don't brag about grabbing people by their pussy, okay? That you don't always have a mic on.
And the stage was higher than this one. And the ramp was probably 10 yards long. I say, General!
Yeah.
Now you gotta understand, I have the whole Corps of Cadets looking at me. And I want them to love their president. I did this big thing. I love them. I love them. They're incredible. And they do.
Where is he going with this? I mean, there's nowhere to go
I
but
said,
down.
General! I've got myself a problem, General.
He said he
Because
didn't
I'm
say
wearing
anything.
leather bottom shoes, which
Yeah.
is good if you're walking on flat surfaces. It's not good for ramps.
Well, then,
and if I fall down,
pretty
look at all
stupid.
those press back there. Look at that.
Yeah. There was no conversation with the general. Okay, you know what? Let's fact check it.
And this was a steel ramp. You all saw it because everybody saw it.
Oh, he is saying
This was
something.
a steel ramp.
Yeah.
It had no handrail.
Oh.
It was like an ice skating rink.
Oh,
And I said, General, I have a problem. And he didn't understand that at first. I said, there's no way. You understood? I just saluted almost 600 times. I just made a big speech. I sat for other speeches. I'm being baked. I'm being baked like a cake. I said, General, there's no way I can make it down that ramp without falling on my ass, General. I have no railing. Sure. It's true.
Ulysses Grant.
So I said, is there like something else around? Sir, the ramp is ready to go. Grab me, sir. Grab me. I didn't really want to grab him. You know why? Because I said, that'll be a story too. So now I have a choice. I can stay up there for another couple of hours and wait till I'm rescued.
uh-huh.
Or I can go down this really steep, really, it's an ice skating rink. It's brutal.
Oh, I can imagine.
So I
if
said,
only we
General,
had footage
get
of
ready,
someone
'cause I may
walking
grab you
up
so
the
fast.
Look at that really steep ice skating.
Because
He's carrying swords too.
I can't
That's dangerous.
fall with the fake news watching. If I fall, I remember when President Ford fell out of the plane. You remember?
I was not
remember
born.
when
No, sorry, I
another
was.
president, nice man, threw up in Japan, and they did slow motion replays. True, right? It's true. I don't want that, General. Now he's standing there, big strong guy, and he's got these shoes, but they're loaded with rubber on the bottom. Because the first thing I did, I looked at his shoes. Then I looked at mine. Very, very slippery.
Did he?
So I end up saying, okay, General, let's go. I will only grab you if I need you. That's not a good story. Falling would be a disaster. It turned out to be worse than anything. I would have been better off if I fell and slid down the damn ramp. Right?
The likes of Robert E.
So what happens is I start the journey inch by inch, right? And I was really bent over, too. I didn't like that, I didn't like this picture. This picture, I'm sure, will be an ad by the fakers. So I was bent over, right? And I'm going like this.
Is he mocking himself? He's mocking himself. Is he owning the libs with this? Are we being owned right now? They're cheering him.
And then we finally reached almost the end.
Uh-huh.
And the fake news, the most dishonest human beings, they cut it off. You know why?
Yeah, look at the way they cut it off here.
I was 10 feet short. I
Almost
said,
at the
General,
end.
I'm sorry, and I ran down the rest, right?
And it cuts off right here.
I looked very handsome. That was the only good thing.
Oh, wait, no, that was me. I just cut it off.
I wouldn't want to run down the whole thing.
Here's the
because
media
fall there
coverage
would
of
be
it.
Definitely bad.
Hey, Alliston.
So I took these little steps. I
Little
ran
steps.
down.
Ran down the last.
10
Here's
and by
him
the way,
running down the
they're
last 10
taped.
feet.
Take a look.
See,
in
he-
almost every instance. We're
We're taking a look right now, sir.
And they said, here was the number
go.
one trending story.
Yeah.
I called my wife. I said,
Last
how
10
good was
feet.
that speech? I thought
We're
it
at
was
10 feet now.
Hey, look, I will
Okay,
tell
now
you
we're
when
at
I make good ones
3,
and bad ones.
2, 1.
Like
he
so
took a
far
step at the
tonight,
end
I'm
and did
average.
this. That's the last 10 feet.
Oh, we're having fun.
And a wave.
We're having fun.
Sig high.
So far tonight.
I know, Joe. Prove it
But
right
I
now.
called my wife and I said, how good was it, darling? She said, you're trending number one.
That's
I
important.
said to our great First Lady, I said, let me ask you a question. Was it that good, the speech, that I'm trending number one? Because I felt it was really good. No, they don't even mention the speech.
No.
They mentioned the fact that you may have Parkinson's disease. It's true. It's true.
Or a stroke.
It's true.
No idea why anyone would think that.
They say there's something wrong with our president. I'll
Yes.
let you know if there's something wrong, okay?
No, they said there's many things wrong with
I'll
our
let
president.
you know if there's something. I'll tell you what, there's something wrong with Biden, that I can tell you. So then my wife said, well, it wasn't only the ramp. Did you have water? I said, yeah. I was speaking for a long time. I didn't want to drink it, but I wanted to wet my lips a little bit. You know, you're working hard up there with the sun pouring down on you. I love this location. The sun's like this. This way they say we're lighting, right?
Sorry.
That's why they did it probably. So what happens is I said, what does it have to do with water? They said, you couldn't lift your hand up to your mouth with water. I said, I just saluted 600 times.
No,
like
he
this.
drank the water
And this
before
was
he did
before
any
I
saluting.
saluted.
This is just absolute
what's the
nonsense.
problem?
Speaking of which, here's Biden
She said,
going up the
well,
ramp.
I know what you did. You had on a very good red tie.
Biden on the left.
It's sort of expensive.
Oh, he
It's
jumps
silk
at the
because
beginning.
They look better. They have a better sheen to them.
There he
I
goes.
don't want to get water on the tie. And I don't want to drink much. So I lifted up the water. I see we have a little glass of water. Where the hell did this water come from? Right? Where did it come from? And I look down on my tie, because I've done it. I've taken water, and it spills down into your tie. It doesn't look good for a long time. And frankly, the tie is never the same. So I put it up to my lip, and then I say, because I don't want it to, just in case. And they gave me another disease. They gave me another disease.
Whoa! Whoa! He's drinking water, everyone! Then he throws it out. I don't want to get this fine t-shirt. You're chanting Trump. Bunch of morons. Trump, 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 Trump. 4 more years of this.
Anyway, that's a long story, but here's the story.
Here's the
I
t-shirt.
have lived with more the ramp than the water, but I've lived with the ramp and the water since I left West Point. Not one media group said I made a good speech or I made a great speech.
Because you didn't. There's Teespring.
But
That's
the
where you can
kids
get the
loved it
t-shirt.
because they broke their barrier, which wasn't good in terms of COVID. But they broke their barrier and they wanted to shake hands. They wanted to, and I don't want to tell anybody, but there were a couple of kids they put at the end. I actually shook their hand, okay? I actually shook it. Because they were excited.
Don't.
They were excited. They're with their president. They were excited. The most beautiful young people, men, women, the most beautiful young people you've ever seen. So think of how you feel, you me.
Remember?
I go there. How did I do? Sir, that was a great speech. You know, all my people, sir, that was one of your best. That was great. I said, that's great. I agree. It was a good speech. I like that speech. They don't mention the speech, but they have me going down this ramp at an inch at a time. It's so unfair. It really is. So unfair. They are among the most dishonest people anywhere on earth.
I can't believe I'm fact-checking this, but I'm going to show you something. Wait
Okay,
for it.
that's enough of that. I wanted to tell that story. Does everybody understand that story?
He just claimed that he looked down to check his tie, and he didn't want to get it
The
wet, and that's why he did the water.
left-wing
This is what
tore
happened.
down a statue of Thomas
out of the way.
Jefferson. Now we're getting into the real stuff. They decapitated a statue of Christopher Columbus, except in New York when the
There it is.
Italians surrounded it.
Does not
they
look
didn't have
down.
too much of a chance.
So
Those Italians, I love the Italians.
Fact check.
They heard they were going to rip down their beautiful Christopher Columbus, and all of a sudden they circled that thing. They didn't do too well in hurting Christopher, did they?
I mean,
thank you.
I don't think you realize we have video.
Population, we're very proud of you, right? 2 days ago, leftist radicals in Portland, Oregon, ripped down a statue of George Washington.
Okay.
And wrapped it in an American flag and set the American flag on fire.
Oh, hey, producer Joanna's in the room as well.
All Democrat. Everything I tell you is
Linda,
Democrat.
good to see you.
And you know, we ought to do something, Mr. Senators. We have 2 great senators. We ought to come up with legislation that if you burn the American flag, you go to jail for 1 year. 1 year.
And get rid of the First Amendment. What if you're wearing
Jim
like an
and
American
James.
flag bikini and you're taking a
Jim and
cigarette and
James. We ought
ash
to do
and
it.
it burns?
You know, they talk about freedom of speech, and I'm a big believer in freedom of speech, but that's desecration. That's a terrible thing they do. We used to have things, we don't have them anymore because we want to be so open, so everything.
We used to
and
have
look what
things, we
happens.
don't have them anymore.
We should have legislation that if somebody wants to burn the American flag and stomp on it, but just burn it, they go to jail for 1 year, okay? In Seattle, the Democrat mayor and the Democrat city council have surrendered control of 6 city blocks to an anarchist map. These are anarchists. These are not protesters. You listen to the
No, they're
fake news,
protesters.
they say,
I live
the
like
protesters were
5
lovely."
minutes from there.
Could you imagine if people just even slightly to the right tried to take over Seattle? They'd have machine guns out to get them. But these people can
Who
take
would?
over the city. Look at what they've done to business people that have spent years and years building their business, and now they're wiped out.
No,
Take it away.
there's not even a broken window in
Governor
Chaz.
Inslee ought to get his act together. Get in there. I'll help you. I'll do whatever you want. I'm waiting for
There's
a call.
literally
I
a
would
taco
love to
place
do
there,
it.
and it's
I
open.
would love to do it.
And
It'll
doing
take-
fantastic business.
It'll take less than an hour, and it'll all be over with, and you'll have your city back.
It's an excellent question, Rich.
And yet Biden remains silent in his basement in the face of this brutal assault on our nation and the values of our nation.
Does he,
Joe
though?
Biden has surrendered to his party and to the left-wing mob. He has no control. Does anybody honestly think he controls these radical maniacs?
Hold on a second. Joe Biden has a
You know
black
what he
family in his
says to
basement?
his wife when he's not confusing her with his sister?
I think you're confusing him with Matt
Get me the
Gaetz.
hell out of here. These people are crazy. That's what he says. He has absolutely no control. You know, a lot of times I'll make like a speech, and I'll have this beautiful paragraph come out criticizing every little aspect of the speech. Beautiful, brilliant. But Joe didn't. And it'll say,
This is
a
beautiful. I
comment
don't know
from
why.
Joe Biden. But
Yeah.
he didn't say it. Professional
he said
people,
it.
great students in English lit. People
So he hires
that are
great
very
students,
smart
and
say
you
it.
hire KK
Joe
McEnany.
Biden said, and they're going to this highly complex paragraph, beautifully worded, and I say, Joe
What
didn't
is-
say that. Joe doesn't even understand it.
Yeah, I think you may not understand it because Joe
And if
Biden's
Biden
written
is
actual
elected-
books without a ghostwriter.
He will surrender your country to these mobsters 100%.
Now they're mobsters?
Your 401ks, by the way, look at how we're doing in the stock market. Just set another record. with
Down
NASDAQ.
significantly
NASDAQ.
because you didn't test. Oh, look at all the mess. Let's count. One,
Your
two,
401ks
no,
and
no.
money itself will be worthless. Your 401ks are doing very well, unless I don't want to say, if you were stupid, I said, don't sell, don't sell. It went down.
Oh,
But we got
also,
it back
this
up.
is also
and now
beautiful
NASDAQ,
and down.
Think of it, NASDAQ
Down is beautiful.
just set a record, and I think you're going to see a lot of records. And next year, if we don't do anything stupid on November 3rd, you are going to have the greatest economic year we've ever had. That'll be next year.
Because we're electing Biden? Is that what he's saying? Look at all those
if the
empty
Democrats
seats.
gain power, then the
Look at 'em.
rioters will be in charge, and no one will be safe, and no one will have control. Joe Biden is not the leader of his party. Joe Biden is a helpless puppet of the radical left.
That's how he won the primaries. By being a helpless puppet.
And he's not radical left. I don't think he knows what he is anymore. But he was never radical left.
Bye, Kim.
But he's controlled by the radical left, and now he's really controlled.
Hey,
His
Peter.
campaign staff even
Those are masks,
donated
Peter.
a lot of
They're wearing
money
large blue
to
masks
bail
to
out
protect
rioters,
themselves.
looters, and arsonists who ravaged Minneapolis.
So he does know how to say
They
it.
put up a lot of money to bail them out, the rioters, the looters. And they were the arsonists. So they'll say, oh, it's terrible what he says about the people of our nation. Maybe some of them aren't even from our nation. The left is trying to do everything they can to stop us. Every hour of every day, including even violence and mayhem, they'll do anything they can to stop us. Look what happened tonight. Look at what happened tonight.
You had a
Law
stage set up
enforcement
outside.
said, sir, they can't be outside. It's too dangerous. We had a bunch of
No,
maniacs
they didn't say
come
that. You don't have enough
and
people.
sort
You
of
didn't even
attack
fill
our
up the
city.
arena.
The mayor and the
The
governor
arena
did a
is
great
almost
job,
empty.
But they were very violent people.
Your floor is 8 deep. This is like Van Halen with Sammy Hagar attendance.
And our people are not nearly as violent.
Clan
But if they ever
Halen.
were, it would be a terrible,
Clan Halen?
terrible day for
'Cause-
the other side.
'cause of the
I
clan.
know our people. I know our people. But we will never submit to their threats, and we will never let them destroy our nation. What they did tonight, I saw it on television coming in on Air Force One. One thing about Air Force One, we got plenty of televisions. We have televisions in closets.
Yeah,
You open up
Air
the
Force
closet,
One did a
got
flyby
television.
over the crowd.
We got a
and
lot
there
of
was no
televisions.
crowd.
It's a great plane, great everything.
They had
By the
the
way,
flight
we
plan
ordered
made
new
up and
ones.
everything. They were going to fly
No
low
president
and watch
wanted
all the
to do it.
people
They thought it
outside,
was
and everyone was
luxury. I
going to
said, "Wait a
wave
minute.
up at the president.
Air Force One is 31 years old. People
They
don't
were taking
realize
the
that.
stage down.
So I said, they gave me a chart very early in my administration, like, how about the first week? Sir, would you sign for this plane? Now, it's actually 2 planes. Would you sign for this plane? Air Force One. I said, how old is the original or the one we have now? Sir, it's 31, 32 years. And I'd see people coming in from foreign lands that can't compete with us. Rich countries, but they can't compete with the United. And they have a brand new, beautiful 747-800. 747. And I
Apparently,
said,
they
"Wait a
can
minute.
compete with us then.
That country has new, and we have a 31 year, so somebody had to do it. So the deal was made, and it was made for a lot of money. I think it was $5.7 or $5.6 billion. Now, in all fairness, it's 2 planes, and there's a lot of stuff in those planes. I won't talk to you about it.
This story has
So I
changed
told Boeing, the head
drastically
of
since he
Boeing,
started telling it.
They said, sir, please, would like to get started on the planes. I said,
No,
I do
my
too,
mic
but
is
I'm
on.
not paying $5.6 billion. And I'm not paying $4.6 billion. I said it has to have a 3 on the front of it.
Can you guys hear me? Yeah,
That's
I'm coming
a lot
through.
of money too, but it is a rather complex situation.
Green room,
They
that's
said,
on
no
your end.
way, no way. This was before Boeing had problems, by the way. But Boeing's coming back. They're coming back. The greatest company in the world, and it had some big problems. It had a couple of problems that didn't work out. That was terrible. But the greatest, I think before that, it was the greatest company in the world.
Thank you, Leanna.
It made up 1/4 of a point of our GDP. Think how big that
Hey,
is, one
Nizlok.
company. It was
So many new
an
people in here today.
unbelievable
Thank you, and
machine.
welcome.
And then they made a plane, and they did some foolish things, and a terrible thing happened, and all of a sudden, they've gone through hell. But you know what? They're coming back. We're ready to help them if they need it, but they're coming back. and they're coming
378
back.
is pretty good. But you know what? I care about the people in here that are my patrons. Because
But
they're
this
the ones
was
in the
the
chat
Boeing
room.
before
They're the
that,
ones who support
and
this.
they were
I love you
riding
guys.
high and-
KevinLeeFather.com
like I
if you want to
was
become a
before
patron.
this thing came in. But we're still riding high because you know what? On November 3rd, we're going to win. We're going to win. So they came in in, and they came in, and they said, no, we want, 5.6 billion, whatever it was. If I'm a little bit off, they'll go crazy, you know. Whatever, but it was a lot. 5.6 billion. Nope, gotta have a 3.
I was going to fact check it, but then I was like,
nope, cancel
I don't
the
care.
Contract.
It's way
I said,
off.
cancel the contract. I want to cancel. I said, General, can you cancel the contract?
I'm so glad you're here,
he said,
human.
Yes, sir, I'm very proud of it. Oh, good, cancel it. Okay, sir. By the way, to cancel it, do you have to pay anything? Yes, sir. We have a cancellation fee, sir. How much is it, General?
It's the first time he said he
$250
canceled
million,
anything. I
sir.
don't think he did.
I said, what? Sir, we made a good deal. $250 million to cancel. You mean if we don't buy the plane, we have to hand them $250 million? That's not good, right? Look at these two guys. They're looking. By the way, that's like a good story compared to some I could tell you, like with aircraft carriers.
Look at these two guys, the only two
They
people on
said
the floor.
250 million, or I always say this,
One of them is
or around
sweeping.
that
He's just
number,
crew.
because I'm
What?
off by a little bit. They say, oh, he exaggerates. I look at numbers all day long. That's what I look at for years now, for my whole life when you think of it.
Mint iced tea.
250 million cancellation fee, sir. He was very proud of himself. What a great... I say, General, don't cancel. Don't cancel.
The
Just
general
tell him
was
I
proud
don't
of
want the
himself?
planes. Don't put anything in writing. Don't put it in writing, General. Why, sir? Because I don't want to pay $250. True. Do you hear that, Jim? Jim Inhofe, he's great. You hear that, Jim? You know that story.
He's
does a
turned
great
into a
job.
lounge club lizard.
So here's what happened, the bottom line. Boeing says, no way, no way, no way. The next week they say, no way we're doing it. The next week they said, how about
Premium
$5
truck.
billion? I said, no way, no way. The next week they said 4.8. I said, nope. It's got to have a 3 on the front of it. Don't you understand, you dumb son of a bitch? Don't you understand?
He goes to the vulgarity. The crowd loves it. He's just fabricating this story as he goes here. And then 2 weeks later they came and they said, 5.1!
Turned out to be right. Nobody gets that? No. Got to have a 3.
Look,
Next
I'm getting
day,
burned here, people. I got to
they
adjust.
come back. 4.5 is our best offer. Nope. I'm not doing it. I'm not doing it. Just come back when you're ready. A month goes by. Another month. They never heard about it. They never heard from me. They thought I was serious. I was. And they came back at $4 billion. That's a lot of money. But I saved like $1.6 billion or $1.7 billion. Nobody wants to talk about it. Nobody wants to talk about it. When I get foreign nations to pay us billions and billions of dollars, nobody wants to talk about that. When I take soldiers out of countries because they're not treating us properly, Germany is an example. I mean, I have a German heritage, like some of you. I said, let's get it down from 50,000 to 25,000 because they're delinquent. For many years, they're delinquent. They haven't been paying what they're supposed to be paying. They're paying 1% instead of 2%, and 2% is a very low number. And they say, yes, we think by 2030, maybe 2032, we could get current. I said, no, Angela. Angela, please. Don't say that, Angela. It's true. You know who I'm talking about. Nice, by the way, very nice woman, very good negotiator. I said, Angela, that's a long time. This was in 2019. She said 2032. I said, no, Angela, that's not working. But I said, what about, because now they want to get current, but I said, well, what about the last 25 years, all the money you owe us? Everybody forgot about that. They forget about all the money that wasn't paid. I said, what about the $1 trillion that you really owe? So we're negotiating, let's see. But in the meantime, we're reducing our troops. Remember this, remember this. We're supposed to protect Germany from Russia. But Germany is paying Russia billions of dollars for energy coming from a pipeline, brand new pipeline. So they pay the country we're supposed to protect them from, they pay billions of dollars to that country. We're supposed to protect them. Excuse me, how does that work? How does
Angela.
that work?
What do you call her? I was refreshing my beverage.
And the great thing is with Jim Inhofe and with James Langford, likewise, when they just said they love you, James. When they hear it, they get it. A lot of people don't get it. They get it.
I don't.
We cannot continue to be ripped off.
Oh, James is wearing a mask.
We're ripped off by so many countries, and we're stopping it. And that means that
He's
a
so
lot of
weak.
people don't want me here. They don't want me here. There are a lot of people that don't want me here. You know, they don't sell a lot of bombs when we're not dropping bombs on people. You know that, right? It's called the military-industrial complex.
You've spent more on the military than any other president, and you keep bragging about it.
I very quickly deployed the National Guard. I said, get them in. After watching for an evening or two, we stopped the violence and restored peace and order to the streets. And last night, they had a little breakout again. They ripped down a statue that was 110 years old.
He can call in the guard in Washington, D.C.
In front of the police precinct with our radical left mayor watching on television. We're not happy. That's going to be very expensive. You're in charge in D.C., moron. They're always looking for money. We need more money. We always need more money. And then they don't do the proper job. So it's not going to be good for Mayor Bowser.
So last week he was bragging that he called in the National Guard in D.C. and quelled the violence.
To the Jefferson Memorial
last night,
recently.
It's the mayor's fault.
And they wanted to do damage to our great, beautiful Jefferson Memorial. Not going to happen. Don't worry about it. We have it surrounded with very strong people. The choice in 220 is very simple. Do you want to bow before the left-wing mob, or do you want to stand up tall and proud as Americans?
Why would we be bowing? Oh, he's sucking them into a standing ovation. Yeah, keep zooming out. Keep zooming out.
I like the NFL. I like Roger Goodell, but I didn't like what he said a week ago.
1, 2, 3,
I said,
4,
where did that
5,
come from in the middle of the summer?
6.
Nobody's
The
even
floor is
asking.
6 deep.
We will never kneel
It's a hockey rink.
to our
6
national
people.
anthem or our
At least they're
great
social
American
distancing.
flag. We will stand proud and we will stand tall.
Is he wrapping up already? He is going to be so angry about this. I wish I was a fly in that plane.
I thought we won that battle with the NFL. Their stadiums were emptying out.
No, they
Did you
weren't.
see those stadiums? Took them a long time to get you back.
You really want to talk about empty stadiums right now,
A lot
sweetie?
of people that you wouldn't even think would care that much. I've had people that I said, these are super left liberals, and they didn't like it. Joe Biden and the Democrats want to prosecute Americans for going to church, but not for burning a church.
No, actually.
They believe you can riot, vandalize, and destroy, but you cannot attend a peaceful pro-America rally.
Well, honestly, not many people do, so...
They want to punish your thought, but not their violent crimes. They want to abolish bail, abolish and open up your borders. They want open borders, let everyone, and by the way, we're doing so well. We have a record this month on the borders. Nobody's coming in. Very few people.
Pro tip, this is Kevin Lee Daughters, and no, I'm not drinking it.
And they want to abolish ICE. Our great people from ICE who send the roughest, toughest, meanest people that you've ever seen or ever heard. Generally speaking, when they have lots of tattoos on their face, they're not looking to do you much help. ICE.
MS-13.
They're rough.
Not
they're
looking to do you much help.
But they're walking, they come in a pack.
I got to get that on the crawl.
Of tough MS-13 gang members. And you know, we shouldn't say this, it's not nice. They want us to negotiate. They start swinging, and the others start swinging. Everybody's swinging. At the end, they carry them back, and they throw them into the paddy wagon, right? They're great. And these people want to get rid of ICE. They get rid of murderers. They get rid of rapists. They get rid of the worst scum on earth. And when I call them animals, I said they're animals. And Nancy Pelosi, they cut up a young woman. They cut up a young woman.
Wow.
And her friend.
Yeah, look at it.
Cut them up with a knife. Because
People
it
are
was
leaving.
More painful, dead. Cut them up with a knife because it's more painful, takes longer than shooting a gun.
Gosher High
They
School.
cut them up. I said, these are animals.
There were more
and Nancy
people.
Pelosi said,
That's
"These are
Goldie
human
Gareza. She
beings,
was in
they're
my
not
high school
animals."
class. I was some kind of speaker at my high school graduation. There
Am I
were more
losing
people
election
at
over
Sure
that?
High School graduation
You know
than
what?
there are in this
This
arena
country's in
tonight.
big trouble.
He's got
Big
fewer
trouble.
people
They wanted to
than a high school
law-abiding
graduation.
citizens and dismantle our police forces while freeing vicious MS-13 gang members. In Joe Biden's America, rioters, looters, and criminal aliens have more rights than law-abiding citizens.
Woo!
And that's
Looters
true.
for Trump.
In my administration, we defend American citizens.
Hey, guitar.
And we deport MS-13 members.
Yeah, he's starting to wrap up here. He's reading more from the
Or
teleprompter.
put them in jail if we have to.
I see one mask.
The chaos you're seeing
Two
in our
masks.
Democratic-run cities, these are all run by the
Democratic-run
Democrats,
cities.
is what
I wanna
will
go to a
happen
run city.
in
I
every
need some
city and
exercise.
community in America, and much, much worse if we don't keep them out. We have to do this. We have to go to the polls on November 3rd, and the rest, you know what to do. You know what to do.
Vote?
Got to keep the White House. Joe Biden's record can be summed up as 4 decades of betrayal, calamity, and failure. He never did anything. He was a senator. He was a vice president.
vice
he was before
president.
that something.
Yeah.
Guy, you know what's great? President Trump was tough on this, or he was tough. They complained. Never did anything about it. He's been there for 43 years or 47 years. He never did anything about it.
He
Biden
passed a
supported
bunch of
every
bills.
globalist attack on the American worker. Let's make every country in the world rich but ourselves.
Dog whistles.
Including NAFTA, the disaster of NAFTA. He wanted to go, and TPP would have ruined our automobile industry.
Hey, Lizzie.
Korea, I renegotiated the deal. I took a horrible deal. That was a Hillary Clinton special. That was a Hillary Clinton special. She said, we have to make this deal with South Korea. It's going to mean 250,000 jobs. And she was right. For South Korea, 250,000 jobs.
No, she never said that.
And China's
At all.
entry
And
into the world
she wasn't even
Trade
Secretary of State at that
Organization
point.
was supported by sleepy Joe Biden. That was one of the worst deals economically in the history of our country. When China joined the World Trade Organization, they were flatlined for decades. They became like a rocket ship. He voted for the war in Iraq. He voted for mass amnesty for illegal aliens. He supports sanctuary cities, and now Biden wants
So
to
does
end
the Supreme
immigration
Court, by the way.
enforcement and he wants to require you to provide free health care for millions and millions of illegal aliens.
Because
okay?
it saves money. Saves
When I
billions.
Early and decisive action to ban travel from China and protect Americans from the virus. And as I said,
I know,
Joe
this is the
Biden
worst
opposed my
Festivus ever,
decision
Giselle.
And called it hysteria, xenophobia. He doesn't know what the word means. Xenophobia and fear-mongering. And then
Oh,
he
I wish I had
apologized
time to play
a
you
month
guys
later. He said he
xenophobia.
was wrong, but he didn't say it. And they didn't cover it. They didn't cover it. On one of the
I'm going to shut him up for a second here. See, now his thing is to say that Joe Biden called him xenophobic and doesn't know what xenophobic means. This is him in 2016. He didn't know what zemophobic was. I'm going to play this.
She called these Americans every name in the book: racist, sexist, xenophobic, Islamophobic.
Back to the idiot.
When the chips are down, Biden will always cave to the radical left. He'll always bow to the angry mob, and he will never protect you or your family. And
I
you
wish
know
I
that.
had some Zima to be phobic of. This is
Joe
only
Biden
tequila.
will always let you down. That's been his history. At my direction early this year, the heroes of the U.S. military took out the world's top terrorist, the savage killer and leader of ISIS, al-Baghdadi, and the number
Giselle
one
says, I totally predicted the
anywhere in
MS-13
world,
toddlers part of the speech.
Qasem
Toddlers with
Soleimani.
one D.
We took him out. Joe Biden opposed killing Soleimani. He was vehemently, we killed this number one terrorist. He didn't like it. You know why he didn't like it? Because he thought it would be good politically. That didn't work out too well. Just as he opposed the raid that killed Osama bin Laden. He opposed it. You know that. Biden is always on the wrong
He didn't
side of
oppose it.
history,
He
as
wanted it
said
to.
by
He wanted to
people
wait
that
to
are
do
with
it.
him
But yeah,
and worked with him. He never made a correct foreign policy decision. Biden is a puppet for China. Son walked out with 1.5 billion. I think it's a little bit.
investment,
Allowing them to
and
rip
it wasn't
off
1.5
America
billion.
for many years. Now they're paying us billions and billions of
They're
dollars.
not. China
We give
is
a
not
lot of
paying
it
us
to
a
our
penny. That is
farmers.
not
We
how
have
tariffs
plenty
work.
left over. China is not exactly happy with me.
And the reason that he killed at least 89 meat packing workers by forcing them to work
Billions.
was so that he could up the amount of pork that was sent to China, so that China
They pay us
could make the
billions
trade
and
look
billions
better
of
for him.
dollars. And they targeted our great farmers. And I took the money that they targeted. I took that money and I gave it to the farmers, so they were even.
You paid them
so
out of the
they're
treasury.
Okay. Are you okay? Come.
China has not paid us tariffs. That is not the way tariffs work.
Doctor, please. Doctor. Thank you. These people, I mean, some of the people are waiting for 5 days, especially in this location, right?
Yeah, they were worried they
You
couldn't
take
get
your
in.
time, don't you? Take your time.
Joke's on them.
Thank you very much. Take your
Can
time.
we get a psychiatrist to the
Doctor,
front row,
thank you,
please?
doctor.
The guy's just standing there wearing a Trump hat. So here's the way tariffs work. So China makes something. They send it to us. It's imported by an American company. The American company has to pay the 25% trade. That cost is passed on to the consumer. That's how tariffs works. He thinks China is paying us money. That's not how it works. That would be like going to the grocery store and getting $100 worth of groceries, and then the grocery store paying us $25 to take them. It makes zero sense. Not the way tariffs works. He gets that wrong every single time. Then he goes on about how they're lowering their currency, which is another topic altogether, and it's nonsense.
They desperately want him to win. They want him to win so badly. Iran wants him to win so badly. Let me tell you, I'm going to make a very fast deal, the best deal you've ever seen. I've already made one with China, but I can make even more. They want me to lose because they will own the United States if I lose. Iran.
Give me a second.
President
Sorry.
Obama
There we
gave
go.
them $150 billion for nothing.
Oh, MSNBC and CNN have both cut
And
away from
almost more
coverage, by the way.
incredibly, he gave them $1.8 billion in green cash, beautiful cash.
Hey,
And
so
now they're not
CNN's
doing
on a
so well,
commercial.
are they? They're not doing
MSNBC's
so
cut away. They're outside
Someday
covering the
we're going to get
protests.
credit for this. Someday. But they are waiting. Iran wants to make a deal so badly. But they're told by Kerry and all these other, they shouldn't, the Logan.
Kerry?
But they're told by Kerry and all these people.
Kerry. His name is
wait,
Kerry, John
because
Kerry.
if Trump loses, you'll own America. You're going to own it.
I'm sure that's what Kerry said.
They'll say you own it. So I don't mind. I told them, we can wait. But when I win, you're going to pay a much higher price than if you made a deal now. It's true. True. I told them that. I told them that. And look what happened to Biden in Ukraine, where his son's paid $83,000 a month and he was jobless. Give me a break. $83,000 a month, more than anybody. If Joe Biden were to become president, an emboldened left will launch a full-scale assault on American life. You know that.
Okay.
They'll expel anyone who disagrees with them. Look what happens when you disagree. You use a term that's perfect and they're not happy with it. They call you a racist. They call you a horrible person. They want to crush religious liberty. They don't want religion. Silence religious believers. Indoctrinate your children with hateful and vicious lies about our country. Subsidize late-term abortion and after-birth execution. They want to take away your guns, through the repeal of your Second Amendment as sure as you're sitting there.
Well, on the plus side, we're not going to see a whole lot of
they
COVID
even
cases
put
come out of here because there's
the
just
big
nobody there.
Gun grabber, Beto O'Rourke, who made a fool out of himself when he ran for president. They put him in charge of guns. Lots of luck on your Second Amendment. Just remember I said it. Hopefully you won't have to think back about it too much because it won't matter. Hopefully it won't matter. No, Beto O'Rourke, who wants
just
to give
predicted
up
his
guns,
own loss
is
in
in
the
charge of
election.
the Second Amendment. The Dems will also eliminate private health insurance, ban fracking. That's not good.
Good.
And American energy will be in a position of weakness like it's never been before. And that's after
Not a thing.
We built the greatest energy country anywhere in the world by far.
He called it execution at random, not abortion.
And
He got it right this time.
Appoint
Oh, there's a mask.
Supreme Court justices
I see a mask.
who will utterly obliterate your Constitution. And you now see how important the Supreme Court is. Think if we didn't have two justices that I think have been very, very, very good. But think how
Mathematically,
important it
you'd still
is.
be losing
think
all
how
the cases.
important it is. And we still, I guess it's, I don't know if it's an equal court. It's almost like we're a minority court, right? It's almost like we're a minority
Good
court.
point, Goldie.
The recent Supreme Court cases prove
They can't
that
vote
if
from the
Joe
hospital
Biden
if there's
is
no mail-in
elected,
ballots.
He will stack the court with extremists and the forgotten men and women.
Where the noses outside the ballot,
Together
Jean
with
Sebastian?
everyone else, we'll lose everything. The forgotten men and women. I campaigned on the forgotten. These are great people. These are substantial people. These are the elite. By the way, you're the elite. They're not the elite. You're the elite.
Yeah, the people at a rally in Tulsa without the mask, they're the elite. There's a mask. This guy's got one.
Somebody
Two
2 days ago
masks.
said, "Sir, the elite are really working hard on trying to
Kavanaugh.
destroy you." I said, "Yeah. Why do you call them the elite?" I said, "Why?" Well, they're not elite. I look better than them. Much more handsome. Got better hair than they do.
A million people signed up for this. Hey, Lisa Canetta.
I got nicer properties. I got nicer houses. I got nicer apartments. I got nicer everything. I ran for politics once, just once in my life, and I became president.
No,
of the United
you ran in 2000, and you dropped out after the first primary. He couldn't even get 15% in California. Ran under the Reform Party. So yeah, no, this is the second time he ran for president. The first time he gave up.
And hopefully, if you get out and vote, we'll do it one more time. We won't even toy with them about 3 or 4 more times. We won't. We'll do it one more time. We'll be 2 for 2, and our country will never, ever be
2
stronger.
for 3.
But I'll be soon announcing a new list of exceptional candidates for the United States Supreme Court, and I'll choose only from that list 100%, probably 25 incredible people, any one of which could be a great justice, any one of which. And I did it last time, and people loved when I did it, and I'll only pick from that list. Biden can't release his list because the names would be too extreme, too radical. They wouldn't be acceptable. But they will be very radical people. People don't understand, but we actually won on DACA yesterday. We actually won. Because they basically said, you won, but you have to come back and redo it. It's almost like, gee, come on back, your paperwork was no good. But we're going to be refiling, but don't let it get you. Everything's going to work out really good. Everything's going to work out good. It was great. I mean, it would have been nice if we won it. Everybody said
We won it.
Oh, you're going to
It
win
would have
DACA.
been nice if we
You're
won
going
it.
to win DACA. That's easy. You got to win DACA. That's easy.
Oh,
They all said
there
it.
goes the tequila.
And they came back and they said, we don't like what you did with your paperwork, essentially, right? So we're refiling it. Most people would say, oh, we lost. We didn't lose. We're going to refile it. And everything is going to work out for the young people, most of whom aren't so young anymore, by the way. But we're going to work it out for everybody. Biden is fully controlled by the fringe of his party. He is their pawn. He doesn't even know where the hell he is, let's face it. He installed socialists Alexandria Ocasio-Cortez to be in charge of his environmental policy and his energy. You can forget petroleum. How does Oklahoma feel about being petroleum-free? Not good, right?
Be great, like solar power, wind power. That sounds fantastic.
Our country will
Here's
have
Trump
no
running
energy.
for president in 2000.
Our country will have nothing.
There he is.
Oklahoma, Texas, North Dakota, and many others will all be out of business. I don't think that's going to work out too well, but she's actually in charge of environmental policy, and you know what that means. She doesn't even want wind. She doesn't want those bird-killing machines that go round and round.
Do they make a noise?
You want
Make
to
the
see
noise.
a lot of birds that are dead go under a windmill sometime.
What about the noise? Do it.
She wants us to go back
And catch
to
cancer?
the Stone Ages because she's got no sense, no credentials. She's got a little charisma, not much, but she doesn't have a clue. You know it. But she's in charge of the environment. No airplanes. We can forget Boeing, I guess, come to think of it, right? We talked about Boeing. We could forget Boeing. Let's cancel those brand new Air Force Ones, right? Likewise, Representative Ilhan Omar.
Ilhan?
Ilhan Omar
There's a mask.
is going to be very much involved in a Biden government.
Biden
They will
government?
put this hate-filled, America-bashing socialist front and center in deciding the fate of your family and deciding the fate of your country. I don't think so.
Better than you.
She would like to make the government of our country just like the country from where she came. Somalia, no government, no safety, no police, no nothing, just anarchy. And now she's telling us how to run our country. No, thank you. And I think we're going to have a big victory in the state of Minnesota because they've had it. They've had it. Biden is a very willing Trojan horse for socialism. When Biden first ran for president over 33 years ago, remember I used to call him 1% Joe. He never got more than 1%. Until Obama took him off the trash heap. But he blatantly copied the speech of a British politician, even ripping off the man's personal biography and family history and claiming it was his own. He forgot to say he was born in America. Joe Biden is a shameless hypocrite. Since 2003, he has delivered fawning eulogies to the funeral and at those funerals of 3 leading supporters of segregation, including a former member of the KKK. And yet Biden is now smearing as racist tens of millions of people like yourselves, decent, hardworking Americans who he's never met, and he frankly probably doesn't want to meet. America should not take lectures on racial justice from Joe Biden, Sleepy Joe.
12,000. According, Roger
praised
Clemens says the crowd's about 12,000. That's
with
probably about right.
segregationists, shipped millions of black American jobs overseas and everyone else's jobs.
Has
too,
anyone
by the
heard
way.
Biden call Trump supporters
If I didn't
racist?
come along, we're building auto plants, we're building everything.
I mean, they are. We all
and
know
there's
that. But
never been a comeback
has Biden called
like
them
we're
that?
making right now. Never been.
Wow. Look at
He
all that
hollowed
support.
out
Look at all those
our
empty
middle
chairs, too. So many
class,
people have
including
left.
our black middle class.
Again,
with
social
open
distancing,
borders,
so...
trapped young children in failing government schools, built cages. Those cages were built by Obama and Biden. Look it up, 2014. And the fake news doesn't want to remember the picture of a cage?
Yeah.
A cage for children.
Yeah.
Remember the picture of the cage? And they said, President Trump. And then they realized that was in a newspaper, 2014, the same. Built by Obama and Biden, the cages.
Uh-huh. Well, just Obama.
And
That's
they don't
when the
want to
kids were
report
coming
the
unaccompanied.
way it is.
And we had
They know
nowhere to
the
keep
way it
them.
is. They're not
So-
stupid.
Anyway.
They sent young boys to fight
He's
in Iraq
separating families on purpose.
while the inner cities crumbled, helped the big banks while hammering community leaders, and made our cities less safe and secure for all. They've done a terrible job, and they shouldn't be awarded. They should not get rewarded with an election victory on November 3rd. That shouldn't happen. It'll destroy this country. Our country will be destroyed.
No, country's going to be
We've
fine.
all worked too hard.
I mean, if you
They
couldn't
don't know
destroy
what
our
the
country,
hell they're doing. Some do, actually, but in a very sinister way.
I want pizza.
Virtually every policy that has hurt black Americans for half a century, Joe Biden has supported or enacted. I've done more for the black community in 4 years than Joe Biden has done in 47 years.
And yet, in Minnesota, the poll that came out on Friday, Biden 58 to Trump 42.
Racial justice begins with Joe Biden's retirement from public life. We are joined tonight by many outstanding Republican leaders. These are great people. We have two of our most distinguished, hardworking,
You're going to introduce
wonderful
people now?
friends, senators. They do a great job. Senator Jim Inhofe
Producer Joanna, where's my pizza?
and James Lankford, please stand up.
How does pizza travel in the mail, guys? Oh, please, let's stop talking about food, guys. Seriously, I'm hungry right now.
Two very respected,
It is
I will tell
6:30
you,
in the evening here in Seattle.
two very respected people in Washington.
Yeah,
They're
this is where the
respected by
politicians are
everybody.
sitting.
They do some
Well,
job,
what we
and
just
I'd
saw
have you
was
come
where the
up, but you
politicians
can
are sitting.
relax. I will
where
say
he keeps
this.
indicating behind
Jim
him the VIP
is running
section.
on
and
November
they're
3rd.
wearing the masks.
Jim Inhofe. He's running on November 3rd. I don't even know. Does he? Hey, James, does he have any competition? Is somebody actually running against? There's no competition that he's got. I know he's got James's support. He's got my support. I give him 100% endorsement. Jim Inhofe.
Can you give him a mask, maybe? Can you give
I
anybody
give
back
it to
here a
James
mask?
too, but he's not running this time. Thank you, Jim. Great job. Thank you very much. What a great senator he is.
Jim, who
Also
denies
here
climate change because
is
only
a
God
man
can
who's
change the weather.
respected by so many. He's a little bit right of the people we've been talking about tonight. Senator Tom Cotton of the great state of Arkansas.
Cotton, who wrote that op-ed in the New York Times the other day. If you didn't read it, don't bother.
Thank you, Tom.
No masks.
They like
no
you people.
masks.
Thank you, Tom. Great job you're doing.
But that's 6 feet, right?
We're glad to be joined as well by a man that I've gotten to know. He's done an incredible job with COVID and with everything else he touches. Governor Kevin Stitt.
Yay for Kevin. I like Kevin. I don't know why. I just like Kevin's. No reason. Some people are booing.
Thank you both. Thank you both for being here. Thank you. Lieutenant Governor Matt Pinnell. Thanks, Matt.
No
Thanks,
masks
Matt.
in the background here. No masks.
And Representatives
No masks.
Frank Lucas, Tom Cole. He's been here for a little while. He's done an incredible job. Mark Wayne Mullen.
Joanna.
You don't want to fight with him.
What? Just Kevin
I want to put
exclamation
him
point?
and Jim Jordan in a match together.
Oh, that his name was Kevin. Yes, Governor Kevin. You're delayed, guys.
Kevin
Sorry.
Hearn. Great job today, Kevin.
Oh, another Kevin. Great job, Kevin.
The great Jim Jordan. Jim Jordan.
Jim Jordan, look for the guy without the jacket. There he is. That's Jim. No mask.
Elise Stefanak.
Oh, she's there.
Lee Zeldin.
Top 5 stupid members of Congress.
Tom Emmer. Tom, thank you.
I don't know anything about Tom. Who's Tom?
These are warriors, folks. These are great
he's a warrior.
warriors.
Okay.
During the fake impeachment trial, I'll tell you what, there
It's a
was
real impeachment trial.
nobody
It
that could
happened.
have done the job they've done. That includes the Senate and the House. These people are incredible. David Kutzoff. David. A great friend of mine, Debbie Lesko, Arizona.
Oh,
Great
God.
job, Debbie.
Debbie.
Great job. And a man who's got very good genes, Greg Pence.
That's Mike's brother.
Thank you all. Great job. They're great people. They are. They're warriors. I'll tell you what. Not every person is, but this group is, and we have a lot of them in Washington. And we'll send Jim Inhofe back, and we'll send all of them. You'll send every one of them. They have to come back because they have been fighting for us, and they've been fighting for you.
Come back to Oklahoma?
And they are just incredible, talented, tough, strong people that love your state a lot. So thank you very much.
This speech is now
So we
hitting an
built
hour and a
the
half.
greatest single economy in the world. And then we say, not only the world, but actually in the history of the world, and they never even challenged me, so I
Not
guess
true.
I'm right.
What do you mean we never even challenge? It's
We had
literally
the
what I
best
do.
numbers anybody's ever had. We had the best employment numbers. African American, Hispanic American, Asian American. The best employment numbers in history. The best stock market numbers in history. We were the envy of the world. Everybody would come in to see me. Presidents, prime minister, kings, queens, and dictators. Dictators would even come in and say, congratulations on the economy. And then the plague came in, and now what we're
Okay, you judge an economy on the GDP growth. You set goals and you try and meet those goals. President Trump early set goals of 3%. That's what you do. Criticized Obama for never getting to 3%, which he did, but that's besides the point. Quick chart over on the screen here. Okay, yeah, you guys can see that. So here's 2017. Get out of the way. Let's see. 2017, he got 2.4. 2018, he got 2.9, didn't reach it. And 2019, 2.3% growth. And the last quarter before we got coronavirus, the growth was 2.1%. Growth is shrinking. The economy is not the greatest economy in the history of the world. It's nowhere close.
president for anything. When you see looters, even though we put them down, if we didn't stop them, nobody would, because the other side will never stop them. But they always blame a president. Here's what's happening. We're going up, we're going up, we're going up, we're going to go up. Then we're going to hit October. We're going to be up. We're going to be way up. We're not going to be where we were, but in many ways, other than all
You're
of
not
the
gonna be where we were at
horrible
2.3?
death that was so needlessly caused by a virus that should have been stopped where it originated, which was China.
And South Korea got the virus on the same day, and they stopped it. They
But
have
we're gonna go up,
280 deaths.
Up, August,
I wish he would shut
September,
up,
October.
up.
And people are going to say, man, this guy's doing a good job. He knows what he's doing. I don't believe the fake news anymore. And you're not going to want to lose your 401ks, and you're not going to want to lose all of that wealth that you've accumulated, whether it's real estate wealth or any wealth you can think, because it'll all come tumbling down if these people are put in
44%
charge,
negative?
and if they double and triple and quadruple your taxes, it'll be a whole different ballgame. So
Quadruple
I'm not
our
putting any
taxes.
pressure on anybody, but
Who's
in the
doing
end,
that?
we're going to have a phenomenal economy. And next year, we're going to have a good third quarter. But next year, and I said it before, will be the single greatest year economically that we've ever had, okay?
If we elect Biden. Hey, Dutch. Good to see
you.
you.
If you see that happening, if you see it...
Uh-oh. Yeah, I'm still here. C-SPAN just timed out on us. They're like, really? Are you still here? Are you serious? Are you okay? Is everything okay? C-SPAN automatically dialing 911 for us.
Even you. You don't have the guts to vote against Trump. Say, wait a minute, darling, my 401k is higher than it was the last time. I don't think I want to take a chance. You're not going to want to do that. The stock market has been the best. Think of this. Go back 1 week and go back 50 days. In that 50-day period, it's the strongest 50 days in the history of the stock market. Think of it.
Let's take a look at the 6 month. Look at that. We're down.
And your wife
How
or
about
your
that?
husband says, darling, I love you so much. You are such a great investor.
This
And
is
all
where
you did
Trump
is
said to
just
buy.
keep the same crap you had the
Right
first
there.
time.
This is where we are now.
Darling, I love you so much.
Trump
You've
says,
always
buy
been a
now.
loser. You've always lost money.
This is where we are.
But now under President Trump, you're one of the greatest financial minds in our country. And all you did was keep your stock. Now, if you think you're going to run against, oh, they're going crazy. They want the stock market to go down,
Nope.
even if it costs them money.
No, we want the stock market not to
go
have crashed
down,
because you didn't
even if it
test.
costs them money. And they don't even know why. You know what? They're smart and they're vicious, but they don't know why. I'm telling you, they don't know why. What's wrong with having the strongest military brand new in the world all built here? What's wrong with having these great economic numbers? What's wrong with having to close it down? We saved millions of lives. You know, a lot of people say we should have gone herd. Let's go herd. Ask
No.
him, how are they doing in Brazil? He's a great friend of mine.
A lot of people said
Not
we should have
good.
tested.
You heard about Sweden.
All we had to
right?
do was
Too much.
test.
Ask them how they doing in Sweden. We saved millions of lives, and now it's time.
We went
to
herd
open
for
up.
6 weeks.
Get back
We
to
rode
work,
it like a
okay?
cowboy.
Get back to work. I recently signed groundbreaking criminal justice reform.
You're absolutely right, Kay
I
Fields.
secured record and permanent funding for historically black colleges and universities.
First
We
mention.
slashed regulations and passed massive tax cuts to give black workers a pay raise like they've never, ever gotten before and lift up black-owned businesses.
78 cents a week. Average
work
pay raise if you make
closely.
48,000.
With a great senator also, friend of theirs, Senator Tim Scott, South Carolina, to create opportunity zones, which are
And
doing
Jared's making money
incredibly.
from the opportunity
And since
zones.
then, countless jobs and $100 billion of new investment, not government investment, have poured into 9,000 of our most distressed
They're
neighborhoods
not countless. You
anywhere
could
in the
actually count
country.
them.
9,000. Never happened before. Tim Scott. Today, I'm also announcing that I have directed Secretary of the Interior David Bernhardt to place the John Hope Franklin Reconciliation Park here in Tulsa on the African American Civil Rights Network. So many of my friends have been asking me to do it.
Okay.
So many of my friends,
They're not
including
clapping.
these great
There's nothing in that for them.
politicians.
No interest.
So we're going to do that. It'll be done very
What are you
quickly.
talking about?
We will forever remember and honor the courageous people who helped build this state and this country. Democrats are
Sooners.
stoking division in order to distract from their decades of failure on schools, jobs,
state was literally
housing,
settled by
justice,
criminals.
and crime. In major city public schools run by Democrats, over 2/3 of students are falling behind in reading and math, and I think the numbers are worse than that.
If
But
only there was somebody in
Democrats
charge of
would
the public
rather deny these
schools.
children the future they deserve than allow them to attend the charter, public, private, religious, or independent schools of their choice. Pro-choice.
And I'm going to block you if
Pro-choice.
you say go Sooners again. Actually, no, I'm fine with OU.
Pro-choice for schools. It's very
are those
popular,
people?
but some people it's like a disaster because what it does to
Future patients.
certain unions that have a lot of power over the Democrats, even though they know it's wrong. Republicans believe access to education is a civil right. It's a civil right. 20 of 20
Yeah, we
of
have
the
a public
most
school system.
dangerous cities
If
in
there are
America
problems,
are
fix it.
controlled by Democrats. Think of that. 20 of 20. And so is nearly every major city with a child poverty rate that's over 30%. They're controlled by Democrats. We can name every one of them. The murder rate in Baltimore and Detroit is higher than El Salvador, Guatemala, or even Afghanistan. How are they doing, the Democrats running those cities? Your whole
Well, there's a lot
country
of
will be
Democrat
like
cities
that.
where it's
In
much
2018
lower.
alone, our police arrested nearly 12,000 people for murder and manslaughter.
Alaska's all Republican, and they've got
25,000
higher
people
murder
for
rates,
rape,
too, so-
And nearly 1.5 million for assault, violent assault. The Democrats' push against our police will drive up crime and drive up costs at levels you'd never believe. Thousands of innocent lives
wouldn't believe them.
will be lost. As president, I will always support the incredible men and women of law enforcement.
Okay, and civil rights? Do you want to mention African Americans? I can see,
A vote for Republicans
No.
is a vote for better schools,
behind
better
him.
jobs,
There we go.
safer families, and stronger communities for all Americans. There is a limit to what we can together achieve with 4 more
There's.
years.
He read that wrong. He just read, there's a limit to what we can achieve.
With your help,
There's no limit,
we
idiot.
will lift millions of our citizens from welfare to work, dependence to independence, and poverty to prosperity. That's what's happening.
God.
That's what's happening. And that was happening at a level that nobody ever thought they'd see. It was happening before this COVID came in. It was happening at a level that nobody believed possible. And then China sent us the plague. Thank you very much.
And we did not act.
We will protect Medicare and Social Security for our great seniors.
Oh, he's
and
wrapping
we'll
up.
always protect patients with pre-existing conditions. Always. Always.
Promised tremendous health care.
We will
Failed.
appoint more judges to interpret the Constitution as written. We will end deadly sanctuary cities. We will finish the wall, which has now 212 miles built and beautiful.
None of which touch Oklahoma.
212 miles. That's a lot of miles. And let me tell you, you think that was an easy one? That was a tough one. That party was totally unified against building the wall. You know, in the end, they gave up. You know what happened? They realized it was a bad issue for them because these open borders, I love when they fight for open borders.
No, they
Because
compromise.
anybody
That's how government works.
that wants an open border coming in from rough areas, there's something wrong with those people. So did you notice in the end, it was like, just leave us alone, build your wall, just leave us alone.
No.
I said, thank you
It was a
very much.
bill. It was a compromise. You shut down the government. You cost your
And we
GDP. The
will
reason he
elect
didn't
the
hit 3%
Republican
when he hit
Congress
2.9
to create
because
a
of the
fair,
shutdown.
safe, sane, and lawful
Shot
system
himself
of
in the foot.
immigration that puts American workers first. We will revitalize our cities and we will build gleaming new roads, bridges, tunnels,
Gleaming
and
new
airports
roads.
all across our land.
We want our clothes to
We
be,
will enact
do not
new
drive on
trade
gleaming
deals
roads.
that result in more products.
If the road
proudly
is
stand
gleaming, pull
with
over,
that beautiful
put on your
phrase,
chains.
Made in the USA. It's so beautiful. Made in the USA.
They're all sitting
That's
down.
happening too. We have so many plants coming into Michigan and so many other states.
What about Oklahoma? Just
We
say
have
Oklahoma.
car plants coming in. Would have never come
Say
if I wasn't
Oklahoma. Just say
president. Would have
Oklahoma.
never come.
Let him cheer.
We will become the world's premier pharmacy, drugstore, and medical manufacturer. That's already started. We're bringing it back. We will keep America out of foolish, stupid, ridiculous foreign wars. We will never hesitate to kill America's terrorist enemies.
Or tear gas Americans.
You know, when I took over, ISIS was all over the place.
Were they?
And I did something that I felt we should do. And we have now obliterated, we have now captured 100% of the ISIS caliphate. 100.
By doing this.
And like our depleted military when I took over, like our empty shelves medically when I took over,
Not true.
like all of the things that when I took over, it was a mess. We
and left those shelves
have
empty
done
for
a
3
job. You
years
had to
for
see
some
what
reason.
ISIS was doing. They were getting bigger. I came in smaller. Sir, we've just taken 100%. We will launch a new age of American ambition in space.
I'm not even seeing Chris's
and the
comments.
United States will be the first nation to land on Mars. Good program. You saw the beautiful rocket 3 weeks ago go up. Beautiful. We will defend privacy, free thought, free speech, religious liberty, and the right to keep and bear arms.
Unless you're trying to burn the flag. Then we'll throw you in prison for 1 year because we don't have enough prisoners. Everybody watch 13th, by the way. It's on Netflix.
And when you see
13th,
those
the numbers,
lunatics
1,
all over
3.
the streets, it's damn nice to have arms. Damn nice.
It is nice to have arms. I don't know what I'd do without
Interesting
my.
how
Oh
all
my
of a sudden
God!
People understand it,
Oh,
right?
it's back.
You couldn't sell it. Now people understand it. The right to keep and bear arms will protect your Second Amendment.
We couldn't understand
Above all,
that.
we will never stop fighting for the sacred values that bind us together as one America. We will support, protect, and defend the Constitution of the United States. We uphold
United
the
States?
principle
Where's that? Is
of
that-
equal
that's part of Seattle,
justice
isn't it?
under the law. We believe in the dignity of work and the sanctity of life. We believe that faith and family, not government and bureaucracy, are the true American way.
And you're the president of that government, just FYI. Look at all those empty chairs.
We believe
oh,
that
2
children
masks.
should be taught
3.
to love our country, honor our history, and always salute our great American flag. And we live by the words of our national motto, it will never change. In God we trust.
That was E pluribus unum.
We stand on
In
the
God we trust is
shoulders
on the money.
of American heroes who crossed the oceans, blazed the trails, settled the continent, tamed the wilderness, dug out the Panama Canal, laid down the railroads, revolutionized industries, won 2 world wars.
No, it is. In God we
defeated
trust is the official
fascism
motto.
and communism, and made America the single greatest nation in the history of the world. And we are making it greater and greater every single day.
It was adopted by Congress in 1956 as the official motto.
Proud citizens like you help build this country, and together we are taking back our country.
He takes a
We
long
are
time wrapping up
returning
and say
the
goodbye, like me.
power to you, the American people.
We're so much
With
alike.
your help, your devotion, and your drive,
Uh-huh.
we are going to keep on working. We are going to keep on fighting. And we are going to keep on winning, winning, winning.
Like in the Supreme Court, where he got kicked so many times in the
We
SCOTUS
are
this
one
week.
movement,
Uh-huh.
one people, one family, and one glorious nation under God. America will soon be thriving like never before because, ladies and gentlemen of
Oh,
Oklahoma,
I like you, Kim.
the best is yet to come.
I hope the best is yet to come because there's nowhere to go but up
Together
from
we
here.
will make
40 million
America
unemployed.
wealthy again. We will make America strong again.
No,
We
Goldie,
will
I actually have
make
naturally curly hair.
America proud
I never knew.
Again.
Thanks,
we
Corona.
will make America safe again. And we will make America great again.
He's
Thank
had
you.
3 years to
Thank
do
you,
it and hasn't.
Oklahoma. Thank
They're
you.
going to go to the Stones now. I'm going to have to shut down the audio. Yeah, so when he first walked out there, I know I didn't have audio to go into you guys because I had to cut the audio because of the YouTube and the trademark, and the YouTube cut me off at the beginning anyway. they started with he was waiting. You could see him in the entrance, in the vomitorium is what it's called, to walk in to the grand entrance. And they always play the "Proud to be American, or at least I know I'm free." He's standing there and he starts to walk just a little bit, and they start playing "You Can't Always Get What You Want," and then they cut it, and then they go to so the guy doing the audio screwed that up majorly. And they did some sort of Trump preamble before they played that song too. It was all very weird. And damn it, I wish that I'd had my mic on at the beginning of the broadcast. But hey, for those of you joining, thank you very much. If this is your first time, welcome. And if you'd like to support this and be one of the patrons of this particular endeavor, the live stream, please do. Go to kevinleefather.com if you've enjoyed it today. $1, $2, $10 a month, $468 a month, $10,000, whatever you can afford. That would be great to help me do things like this. Or if you want to have sign up for the annual grant program, there's a process. It takes several months. It has to be approved by the board. And you can eventually, like Chris Wilson, donate 38 cents per annum. I was getting greedy there, Chris. My bad. Okay, let's see who's in the chat room here. Lisa, good to see you. Bev, Linda, Kay Fields, Ed Bergerman. I don't know if I said hi to you before, Ed. So when you go from Twitter to YouTube, sometimes your name changes. So if I'm saying hi to you again, so what? Goldie, good to see you in here, by the way, Goldie. Everybody who's watching us on Facebook, mostly my friends on Facebook, good to see you. Kay! Yeah, let's see. I got to read. But Kay, good to see you, Kay. You're proud to be an American. Well, at least I know I'm free, except if you're a ticket holder with a Black Lives Matter t-shirt, you're not free. You can't wear that shirt or you'll get arrested because... Yeah, if you guys didn't see it earlier, I'm not even going to go back and find it. You'll see it. It's going to be all over the news. Lady sitting outside the arena with a ticket. She had a ticket to the event wearing a Black Lives Matter shirt. They arrested her, took her away because First Amendment. So they arrested her and she was just sitting there. And the irony is there was plenty of space. I mean, she could have been sitting up at any of these bleachers up here. Wouldn't have bothered anybody. They could have just let her inside. They could have left her sitting there. There was no one around her because she might have been sitting in where they had the stage put up. So yeah, this is embarrassing for Trump. The plan was for them to fly Air Force One low by the stadium so that he could go over where they had the outside stage set up because they kept bragging about this is going to be the first time that President Trump speaks to everybody inside and outside because there was the overflow crowd. What they didn't realize, and what fans of the live stream realized, because you guys heard me talking to Kevin Lee Daughter a couple of days ago, and she explained to us, no, people are signing up for tickets that have no plan on going. It's a thing. So on your Instagram and your chat snaps and your tickety talks, that's what they've been doing this last couple of weeks. The kids have been grabbing up all those million tickets, and we saw tonight that those million people did not exist. And the 12,000 or so, according to Roger Clemens, who did sign up and show up, some of them might not exist very long either. So I'm hoping that it doesn't spread COVID, but what we found out earlier today was that 6 of the Trump, the planning team, I'm forgetting words right now, the scout team, the people that go in early and set things up, the advance team. Thank you, Kevin. The advance team. Thank you, Rain. That go early. 6 of them tested positive for coronavirus. And those would probably be people from Washington, maybe Oklahoma, but that went out to Oklahoma to get things set up, like set up the big outdoor stage. So as Trump was flying over the stadium and going low over the outdoor stage, there was nobody there, and they were taking the stage down. So that's today in Trump. Marcy, you did the ticket thing. I did the ticket thing. Many of us did the ticket thing. A staffer, but I was looking for advanced team, but thank you, Doctor. Andreas, welcome, one of our newest patrons. We got 3 new patrons yesterday. It was Marcus and, for God's sake. Mari, I spelled your name wrong in there. I'll get it right next time. You're going to be the sole sponsor next time. And then we had somebody else who upgraded from Patron of the Farts to Protester, I think. And I haven't had a chance to update the credits. You're going to see the credits in just a second. I want to show you guys the intro if you missed the intro, because I'm quite proud of it. Give me a second here to cut the desktop audio so we don't get an echo. There's a lot of things to this software, guys. I'm not trying to make excuses, but those are my excuses. Plus, I'm not very talented. Let's see. Okay, you guys are just... I don't need to be here anymore. You guys are just having a conversation amongst yourself. Here was the intro, because I'm happy with the way that it turned out. And the song will stick in your head for the rest of the evening. Not my song, but the song with the halftime people. You'll see what I want. You'll see what I'm saying when I show you the intro. Here's the intro in 3, 2, 1. And a countdown. 4, 3, 2. Here's the intro. Tonight, the live stream comes to you live from Tulsa with the My Pillow Corona Bowl, featuring a very special halftime performance by Up with Creeple.
Let me hear you say Trump 2020. Trump 2020.
Quick check of the out-of-town scoreboard. It's Ramps 1, Trump nothing. Let's dive in to the live stream. And I'm glad I watched that again because I have to make some changes to the intro, the actual intro as well. Anyway, I'm happy with that. Thanks to everybody who contributed ideas and thoughts on the intro section. Bev, thank you for being here. How do you upgrade on Patreon? Well, actually, yes. You can go in there and then somewhere in there you can adjust your amount. Guy definitely needs more... This guy definitely needs more credit. Well, thank you, Main C. I think you're talking about me. Big things are happening, and it's all thanks to you guys. And really, thank you to the patrons. If you want to become a patron, I'm not going to stop you. KevinLeeFather.com. Go there. That takes you to Patreon. If you're already a patron and you want to upgrade, go to your subscription. Thank you, Barbara from Belgium. And then hit edit under your subscription or prescription. Hydroxychloroquine is cheap right now, guys. We have so much. I do need to, Chris Wilson says, you need to misspell a few things to attract more Trumpers. I misspell constantly. Just edit your profile. There you go. Awesome night. Awesome job. Thank you, Human, for saying so. I'm assuming it's me, Kevin, not Kevin Stitt, the governor of Oklahoma, but he did a hell of a job, too. Somehow managed to turn the 19,000-seat arena into a 45,000-seat arena so that all 19,000... It looked like fewer people. Or less people if you're a Trump fan. Vote Biden 2020. Okay. And Kevin Lee Father. I can't be president, but maybe I could be vice president. No, you still have to be a Canadian or a Canadian. You have to be. I was born in Canada. You have to be born here. Even though Ted Cruz ran and he was born in Canada, I was not a naturalized citizen at the time of birth. Got it. Appreciate Andreas. Appreciate you, one of the newest patrons. Thank you, Andreas. Oh, thank you, Danielle. You love my intro. I love the intro too. I especially love the beep Trump 2020. Beep Trump. Up with Creeple that I know at random thought was funny. Yes, about you. Let's be nice to each other. Yes, be nice to each other. I sometimes say that. I might upgrade, but depends on your performance. Lizzie, whatever you want to do is fine with us. Oh, Lizzie, you know what? For those who have been watching the live stream, Lizzie mentioned her face mask earlier, and I have that. Let me pull it up. You guys talked amongst yourself for a second here. I'm going to pull up. Lizzie sent the picture of the face mask. Lisa, have a great weekend too. Everybody, hold on though. Don't go anywhere because you're going to want to see this face mask that Lizzie sent to me. There she is. And boom, there's a couple, but I want you guys to see this one. Here is Lizzie's face mask. Oh, get out of the way, Kevin. Right there. You can see there's flowers, and then these are so... Oh my God, I didn't even... I'm going to take that down. I didn't have a close enough look at that face mask first. Wow. That's raunchier than I thought it was. I just took a quick glimpse. And honestly, Lizzie, with those eyes. Who's looking at the face mask? Look at those eyes. Okay. Can I beep that out? Anyway, nice job with the face mask, Lizzie. I think there's one more that you sent as well. That's right. Here's Lizzie again. Wash your beeping hands, says Lizzie. So, thank you everyone for joining us again tonight. I'm about to show the credits. And all of you who are contributors are in the credits, except the very brandish new people. You will get into the credits. As you can see, I spent a little bit of time editing today. And it's time for me to eat. Everybody stay safe. Be good. This is going to be an interesting year. And I'm so glad that you guys are along for the ride. I used to watch these rallies by myself. And it's no fun. So thank you very much, everybody, for being here. Have a safe weekend. I don't know if anything's going on tomorrow. I don't think so. Trump's going to be so angry. He'll go through a tweet storm in the morning and probably play some golf, knowing Trump. And then Monday, we'll probably be back in action. So we'll see you on the live stream on Monday or whenever things happen. You guys take care. I love you all like a son I never had. Oh, sorry, Kevin Lee, son.